Do I have a query? I want to know, do your interdimensional connections consider the experiences of deaf, blind, or wheelchair-using individuals?
We're not exactly sure what that person means by this question, whether they're asking whether that exists in our own society or whether the ideas that we present to you are inclusive of people who have those experiences, which of course they are. And we have discussed individually with many people the idea that many souls may choose those particular experiences as challenges that can help humanity figure out how to relate to those people in different ways, how to communicate with those people in different ways, how to even cure those conditions, perhaps in certain circumstances. So, souls that take on what may appear to be those limitations are often very advanced souls who have some lessons to teach humanity about how humanity relates to people with those kinds of particular conditions. So, of course, they are included in everything that we're talking about.
Hi.
Good day. Good day.
Hi, Bashar. How are you?
Perfect. And you?
You look perfect. I'm close to perfect. I'm
You
getting
are
there.
perfect as you are.
Thank you. I needed
You
to
will
hear that.
always change, you will always improve, but at every given moment, you are a perfect representation of whatever it is you are at this moment.
Thank you so much. I have a pretty interesting story to share with you, and some questions that follow.
All right.
Um, During meditation one day, the energy and the consciousness of Mother Ayahuasca came to me,
Yes.
and I sat with it, and it felt really good. And I didn't necessarily say, "Oh my gosh, I need to go do ayahuasca," but the medicine came to me through people, and it was really nice. And shortly after, that was about 8 months ago, and a month or two after, you came into my consciousness, and I found your teachings. And
Yes.
your teachings have really helped me move from believing into knowing.
All right.
Um, and, and and it has changed my frequency a bit, and
Oh, yes, quite a bit.
but it brings challenges, new ones, and
Absolutely. That's what they're for.
I'm enjoying the challenges. And then I came across your crystal skulls, and I said, "Oh my gosh, I want to get a crystal skull." And I got one, and it was pink, and that was a big synchronicity for me. If I could articulate my authentic frequency, I would be shades of pink, and depending on how I feel, the shade of pink changes.
Yes.
Fast forward, it finally aligned where I did an ayahuasca ceremony. And you were a part of the ceremony, and it was so interesting. And I was outside, and I saw your family crest in the sky. And I don't know how to put it into words, but it was as if my whole body became activated, and I was one with the cosmos,
Yes.
and I was dancing. The sky turned hot pink, and I believe there were some particular activities in the sky, regardless of me being on ayahuasca. It was around the 8-8 portal, and I think we saw a comet. And what was happening was that anything that I would touch, a star, a planet, it would move, and I was dancing with the cosmos. And it happened to be there was people that were witnessing and watching me experience this, which was nice for me, you know. Anywho, it was just a bunch of information coming, and I didn't know necessarily what to do with it, but I was receiving it. And then the next day, it was a very different experience. It was super grounding, and I was in the earth,
Yes.
and I gave birth, and it was a dragon. And ever since I got that crystal, I was activated with grandmother dragon energy, and it came with its own set of challenges and mysteries and phenomena. Well,
Yes.
when I gave birth to this dragon, it wasn't easy, and I became this dragon. But the main message and question for you now is that once we fully feel our power as beings viscerally, we must balance it with humility.
Yes.
And that was what I was experiencing, the uncomfortableness of this ayahuasca experience. And I wanted you to maybe shed some light on that and help me understand it better. Humility.
All right. Well, again, it's connected to the idea of grounding. It's connected to the understanding that you are an expression of nature. And it's not about letting go of nature to explore the stars and the cosmic side of your being, but grounding to the earth, grounding to that energy, connecting to it so that you have a foundation from which you can rise and allow there to be a link and a bridge and function as a link and a bridge between what you colloquially call heaven and earth, to allow you to bring energies down to create heaven on earth. So it's all about forming that bridge, that link. The dragon represents ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, a very deep and ancient connection in your DNA to the idea of being physical and being able to channel energies through that physical component of the DNA to again do what it is we're talking about. Bring those higher frequency energies that you are connecting to in the cosmos down to earth, to be the valve, to be the link, to be the bridge that balances those two energies so that you can reach for the stars, but do so with a grounded humility that allows balance to be maintained so that it is a natural experience that's more expressive of your authentic self and your true soul.
Uh, Thank you. That was beautifully said. That was pretty much encapsulated in my experience. And I have experienced in this reality and on Earth some resistance in being fully in my physical body.
Yeah.
Sometimes I prefer being in the cosmos but that doesn't serve me because I am in this physical reality and I have things.
Yes, it's all right. It's a typical thing because, again, remember, you are in spirit and you know that physical reality is just a projection happening within your soul. So it is something typical that sometimes a spirit will kind of feel a little uncomfortable with the idea because it knows that it is actually just a projection and it's not really what a spirit is. But it is a part of you. It is an authentic part of you happening within your soul. But I understand that sometimes it can feel a little uncomfortable because it's not your natural state.
Yeah, it's almost like giving birth to like every cell in your body, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yes, well, that's what you're doing when you create an
Okay.
idea called physical reality and a physical body. Remember, it's not that your body has a soul, it's that your soul has a body. So you do, by concentrating certain energies within your soul down to the center of your soul, actually give birth to your physical body, to every cell within it, to every atom within it, to every subatomic particle within it. It's all created within your soul.
Thank you. And now when I see you, before when I would see you in meditation dreams or whatever, you would be alone and you have been kind of like this cosmic father figure for me. And it's been very grounding for me to balance the male and feminine energy. And
Yes,
during the ceremony, all it kept showing me was the infinity sign.
yes.
And
It is our passion and our pleasure to give off certain frequencies and energies that all of you may use to help you symbolically and representationally in your journeys that way. It doesn't mean that I am literally involved in the same way that an individual might choose to be involved. But since I have a multidimensional nature, any single one of you can tap into my general frequency and use that part of my energy to help you on your journeys in that way, because we give ourselves to you that way so that you may include our vibration within the mix or the recipe of the challenges that you face to help you, guide you on your journey. So in picking up on that frequency that way, we are happy to participate as the general energy that we give off, even though it doesn't necessarily mean that I literally, as an individual, am participating in your experience with you.
and ever since that ceremony, now when I see you, you're with a group of people.
Yes,
Um, do you know what that means? How why that
of
shift happened?
course. Of course. Remember, very often in these conversations, the translation from us comes through as we instead of
Mhm.
I. That is because I am connected to a group of individuals, many individuals, a multitude of individuals telepathically, and we come through together as a group. I am simply the representation of that group. As a single entity, as a single individual, I am facilitating that. But I am, in essence, a multidimensional group of entities. That
And now
is the level on which my species exists, as a multidimensional group of entities for every individual. So we come through as a group.
wow, that makes a lot of sense. And now that I'm looking at your background in the trees, I've been connecting to trees my whole entire life, but of late, like a tree will just call me and I'll
Yeah.
just put my hand on it and I just that feeling of being alone is kind of gone.
Well,
Can
yes, because you're connecting to the
extraterrestrials
forest. You're
can
connecting
extra
to You're
sorry.
connecting to the forest. You're connecting to the underground network of the roots and the systems that allow trees to know that they are, in essence, not necessarily just individuals, but they are, in essence, a group, a forest, a grove, a collection. They are conscious in their own way and communicating with you.
Yes, I recently tried one of your manifestation techniques with drawing instead of using words and
Yes.
encapsulating the emotion and then burning it. I I I I haven't I haven't manifested this quickly in my entire life. It's like it's something about removing the words and just having the image and drawing it.
Well, that's how you actually use telepathy, is with
Mhm.
imagery and feeling, not with words. So it's a way of allowing yourself to begin to explore how to become more telepathic. Does that help you?
All of this helped me so much. I'm truly grateful for this experience.
We deeply appreciate your willingness to apply this information and change yourself in a more positive way. So we thank you. Aveo. Good day.
Aveo, good day.
Hi, Bashar. I'm currently training as a salesman to have online meetings with prospective clients who have expressed interest in a company's product or service. And I was hoping you could help me to understand the most important things I need to know about acting with integrity and being of the most help that I possibly can to my prospects.
Focus not on the idea of selling the product, but how the product serves those to whom you are selling. In other words, how can our product help you? How can it serve your needs? How can it help you become more of what it is you prefer to become? How can it help change your life in ways that make your life more the way you would prefer it to be? So it's all about the idea of how what you do can better serve the people that you are, quote unquote, selling to, rather than focusing on the idea of selling to them. It's about serving them. And then the sales will happen automatically where it needs to, if you allow them to be excited about what your product can do for them. And it's all about how it can serve them. Good day. Good day.
Good day. Greetings, family. Welcome to my home. My passion is being a teacher and a mother. And I am now understanding that I am a preparer of the way for the new 6th hybrid race here on planet Earth. In the Sedona transmission, you mentioned in your civilization that you are all parents to all children. I would love some clarification or a synopsis on how you grew physical beings for your civilization in the beginning to now evolving to materialization.
Are you asking us how we procreate?
In a sense, but the evolution of it going from a birth canal to materialization.
All right. Well, the idea again has to do with being your authentic self, following your passion and acting on it, which raises your frequency. And over time, the continual raising of that frequency starts to mitigate your connection to some degree to the concept of physical reality, or allows you to experience physical reality truly as a projection of your consciousness. So eventually you really start experiencing physical reality as something far more flexible, malleable than solid. And when you arrive at that point in your evolution, then you start to realize everything is just frequencies of energy. And when you start to really realize that and are telepathically bonded to the rest of your society, when you reach that certain point, then that collective energy telepathically suddenly turns your physical reality into something quite fluid and quite transparent and quite dreamlike. And therefore you understand the idea, the expression of bringing a new life in is simply the idea of energetically providing a kind of energy vehicle that has the ability to crystallize to whatever degree it needs to perform its physical functions in your society, to meet its challenges in whatever way it wishes to, and that can be done more through energy than through the idea of the physical body.
Is
Does
the
that answer?
physical body, is the way that we have children here on this planet now for survival? Was it a part of being able to nurture and grow, or is that something that we'll evolve out of?
Eventually, it is something that you will evolve into a little bit differently. You will maintain it for quite some time, but you will experience it differently as you evolve over the next 1,000 of your years. It will
Thank
be
you.
something that will happen a little bit differently. It's a little bit challenging to describe the differences for you, but let us just say, if we could give you a rough analogy, it would be more like you're still giving birth physically, but it takes on a more dreamlike quality. So time and space are compressed in a way so that one moment you are pregnant, and then you kind of go through this dream, and then the next moment the baby is there. So there is a collapsing of your physical materiality, still connecting to physicality, but taking on a more dreamlike quality so that you don't really experience the birthing process in exactly the same way you experience it, more like going into a dream state, an astral state, experiencing directly the connection with the spirit of the child. And the next thing you know, when you wake up from that dream, the child is there. The child has been physically born. So it's going to be more like that.
Thank you. I actually had a similar experience. I was what was called currently as a gestational surrogate, and I was the biological mother to a child that was not genetically related to me. And what my question regarding that is, there's something that is being shown in science called microchimerism,
Yes.
and that is the exchange of cells.
Yes.
My question is, what information is in the exchange of cells between mother and fetus? And why do we carry it for the rest of our lives?
Well, because you're part of the same soul family. So it's a way of creating an imprinting to know that there is always a connection with that being. And it's done through the exchange of genetic material physically as a representation of the soul family connection that you have and the agreement you made to be the mother, to be the vehicle to bring through that particular entity into physicalness, even though you are not initially genetically connected. The genetic exchange shows you that you are connected on a soul level.
Are we going to evolve away from mother, father into all parent?
Well, to some degree. Again, those distinctions will to some degree remain, but again, it will become more broadly understood and more telepathically experienced in a more balanced way.
Thank you. In the Sedona transmission, you brought through, and your channel brought through an entity that was kind of hinted at being revealed, connecting the heart and the mind, but I have yet to hear if it is time to reveal who that was.
It was a mantis being.
Okay, that's what I thought. My next question is, at the Sedona transmission, I had the pleasure of sitting in front of your channel, and the channel began to look like a mirage. And was in that moment where I was able to see that, was I also quasi-physical?
To some degree, yes. You were allowing physical reality to not be as real, as solid. You were allowing yourself to pick up on our frequency a little bit more and therefore experience reality a little bit more like we do, where we don't experience it as being solid. We experience it as being more of a multidimensional mirage.
My last question is, I would like to create a documentary film about my story as a gestational surrogate, which actually is the biological or the birth mother to these children. Yet I'm finding that it is a passion, but there is an undercurrent of anger, as the experience I went through was very painful but beneficial. And it is the catalyst to this. And my hope is to bring out all the information so women that decide to be a carrier can have all the information to make a conscious choice.
That's fine. The
Now,
idea of your anger simply is a challenge that you can face and include in the documentary as a transformational challenge that can allow them to deal with whatever emotions come up and whatever belief systems are behind them, so that they can learn the lessons in the future in a more positive way and transfer that information through the documentary to others who may face the same challenges, but then because of the information you provide in transforming that energy in the documentary, don't necessarily have to experience it in the way that you did.
thank you. I needed to hear that today.
All right.
That is that is all.
All right. Then we thank you. Aveo. Good day.
Aveo.
Hey Bashar, it's Mehul from Toronto. I'm just wondering, since it's been 1 year since you've announced that we're 1 minute from midnight, how many seconds from midnight are we right now?
27 seconds.